Good morning, Katherine. Today's Saturday. I really liked your video yesterday about illness, so I thought in true twin fashion, I would steal it from you. I am very prone to anxiety attacks. There are times when I just get really scared and nervous for no reason whatsoever. So I have to recognize that I need to take time to myself and I need to reevaluate what I'm doing and recognize why it's making me so scared. A lot of times it's just I need to spend an hour or two in my room just hanging out, totally away from other people. So I've already talked to my suite mates about this and I tell them when to notice when I'm not doing well. I get into phases where I anxiously clean everything because in my head I believe that that is what is going to solve my problem. And there's a difference between me like regular cleaning and me like anxious cleaning. So regular cleaning, I'll just sit there, I'll like talk to you, I'll like do the dishes, and I'll only clean like one thing. It's not a definite when I'm cleaning I am anxious. So I told him when I am anxious cleaning, I have my headphones on, I'm cleaning everything, and I tell Michael that when I'm having a really bad day and I just really need to not be around people, and I'll say I can't do other things today, I need a day to myself, and he recognizes that. So last year on Marathon Monday, we get Marathon Monday off because Boston Marathon runs through our campus, and Michael wanted to go down to the finish line because a bunch of people were there and we were going to congratulate people, but I don't do well around crowds. So if I had gone to the finish line, I would have been around thousands of people and I probably would have had a panic attack. I also have asthma, which means that I can't run for a long period of time, and walking really fast, like uphill, something that is strenuous, actually hurts me. And I have to recognize that there are things that I cannot do until I take my inhaler, and I have to bring my inhaler wherever I go. So right now it sits in my backpack just in case, because a lot of times when I have a panic attack, it feels like I can't breathe, and when I use my inhaler, it just tricks my mind into thinking that that is what it was. So I bring my inhaler everywhere. Accepting the fact that you have an illness and that you need to take care of it is the first step in becoming like this bigger person. I am more prone to injury than illness because of all of the years that I did Taekwondo. Throughout all of the years of Taekwondo, I think I got 5 or 6 injuries that were injuries where I had to stop doing what I was doing in order to take care of them. For me, I have the biggest ego out there, so when someone tells me I have to stop doing what I love because I could injure myself further, I always make a pro-con list as to like how far I can go before it's actually threatening to my health for me to continue to do this. I wouldn't tell people that I was injured until it got to the point where I couldn't actually do normal functions. I sprained my ankle and waited like a week and a half to actually say something about it. You have to recognize when you have to like stop, slow down, and just focus on you for a minute and know that you have to take care of yourself. My one rule of thumb is always listen to what the doctors say. As much as I hate doctors, you have to listen to what they're telling you. I had to do physical therapy on my hand and occupational therapy because it was a dexterity issue, so I wouldn't be able to write anymore if I hadn't done it. I had to do a whole bunch of exercises for my thumb just to make it so I can still make a fist and open my hand and lift things with this hand, but I never finished it. I had to stop about halfway or 3/4 of the way through doing physical therapy because I had to go back to school and I had a bunch of other obligations that I had to do. So my hand is still quite weak to the point where there are days when I can still feel the pain that I had when I first hyperextended my thumb, and I can't do a whole bunch of push-ups. Always do the physical therapy. Just always listen to what the doctors say, because as much as I hate listening to doctors, they actually do know what's best for you. And also just work towards milestones in your recovery. So about 1.5 years ago, I fell downstairs and I sprained my ankle really badly. Throughout that time, I couldn't work, but it meant that I was very constricted in what I could do and what I couldn't do. So like I couldn't go up the stairs really fast. I had to crawl up the stairs like a toddler because I couldn't put weight on that ankle. And so throughout that whole summer, I worked to get up to milestones in my recovery. So along the lines of what you had said yesterday about loving someone with an illness, I know that you have migraines, and I know that there's nothing I can do to fix it, but there are things that I can do to make you feel better. So I make tea for you, I tuck you in so that way you can take a nap and try and sleep it off, and I'll read to you, or I'll they'll even just sit there with you. And sometimes that's all you need. You just need someone to sit with you so you know someone is there. When I get really, really anxious, I don't like people to touch me because I get very scared. But just knowing that someone is there to care about what is going on with me is really, really powerful. I wanted to reiterate from what you said yesterday, having an illness does not have to mean that you have to stop living your life. Yes, it can make life incredibly challenging, but it also helps you decide what is worth doing. When I have to think about where I'm going, I have to decide, is it worth it if I might end up in a crowd? Is it okay for me to be a little uncomfortable for a little while if it means that I can go do something else? And when you have an illness, it really puts things in perspective, and you can tell when you talk to people about what's going on with you and like how to deal with what is going on with you. You can tell who is going to be there for the long haul and who's not willing to put up with that. Michael understands that sometimes I am not available. And Kendi and Sarah both recognize and understand that we all have our own issues, and just because you're not available for a period of time doesn't mean you're not available forever. Catherine, I'll see you on Monday.